This is probably the most heartfelt video I've ever done. And in this video, I want to teach you what my mindset is. Oftentimes people look up to others and they don't get to see a vulnerable side of them. And it was very hard for me when I was studying people, when I was studying the greatest in the world, the people I thought were the most confident or the most successful or the best at what they do, to really see every side of them, right? Oftentimes you look at someone and you think they're perfect, or you think that they have no problems in their life. So in this video, I want to really explain my mindset. I want people to understand me. Because if you do what I do, if you think the way I think, if you feel the way I feel, you'll be able to replicate a lot of what I've done for myself. And this is the foundation of all of it. I just want to be a good friend to the people I love. I want to be a good son to my parents. I want to be a good brother to my sister. And in the future, I just want to be a good father and a husband. And right now, I can tell you that the things that drive me more than anything else on the planet, it's love. I love to give. I love to give. And I know what it's like to have everything taken from me. I know what it's like to see others have everything taken from them. My family in 2008 lost everything. They lost everything. And I remember one day I'm in the car with my parents, and as we're in the car, I asked if we could stop at McDonald's. My parents just picked me up from school. My sister's sitting next to me. My dad's driving. My mom's in the front seat. And as I asked them if we can go to McDonald's, they said, no, we can't. And I said, why? Because up until now, I didn't even know what it meant. I didn't even know what money meant. I thought we always had money. And, you know, I looked at my dad in the mirror, and I was about 9 or 10 years old. And I saw a tear come down his face, and I immediately understood what happened. And that's the moment I understood what money was. And I understood that I wanted to help my parents, but I couldn't, because I was 9 years old. And I looked at my mom, and my mom had tears because they were so successful. And my dad spent his whole life building something for his family. And now that I do it myself, I know what it means. And to have it taken from you, just because you trust people and you're too nice, and then not be able to even give your kids McDonald's, I knew at that moment I had to do something. And we had chocolates. And this is the moment where I really believe this was a defining moment in my life. And I've never shared this story. There were chocolate bars from fundraisers we had in our school. And I took those chocolate bars when we got home, and I knocked on all my neighbors' doors. And I made about $120 from all the chocolate bars, and I gave it to my parents. And I remember seeing how happy my mom was. Not because of the $120. Obviously, it made it easier. Hopefully, maybe got them gas or something. But it was because of what it meant to them, you know. And I was so young, I knew I couldn't do anything about it. And, you know, I go into high school and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna figure it out and be a doctor. But the problem is, I'm 22 years old right now. If I were gonna be a doctor, I would have to wait till I'm 32 to be a plastic surgeon. I'd have to wait till later on to be able to help them. My dad right now is 70 years old. He's had 9 heart surgeries. You know, my mom, she's 60. I did not want to wait. I needed to do this for them right now. And that's all I can tell you, is that time is limited. So time's always something that I need. You know, I'm always motivated. I'm like, okay, let's make it happen right now. Let's do it right now. So that's my mindset. I'm like, how can I make the most out of right now? How can I make the most out of the time I have with people? How can I make the most out of my connections with everybody? And I found that the only thing stopping me at the time was my mindset. So when I would get in my own way, I would always think about my parents, right? When you get up in the morning and you don't have an alarm, what's gonna get you up in the morning? Thank you guys. What's gonna get you up in the morning? Well, what got me up is the fact that I wanted to help my parents. What got me up is the fact that I look at my friends, you know, and when I was in high school, I couldn't even afford to go with them to bowling. I couldn't afford to go with them to Cheesecake Factory or anything like that. I couldn't afford to go eat with them. I remember I had a few friends that when they didn't really have any money, they would invite me. And if I couldn't afford it and they couldn't afford to bring me, they wouldn't go. And that meant a lot to me. And now, you know, I'm probably doing better than almost all my friends. And if I could give them, you know, the world, I would. That's my personality. So my mindset isn't really, I don't go make these things for me. Right? When I go buy nice cars, I enjoy nice cars. I enjoy nice houses, but I buy things because I want my friends and my family to be able to enjoy them. Everything I do is for them. Everything I do is for others. And I think a selfish mindset is a poor mindset, because at the end of the day, you can make all the money in the world, but if you can't give it to somebody and you can't help others, what's the point of making money? So I asked myself, I'm like, what's a career I can do where I can make a lot of money quickly and I can help my friends, my family, and even help other people? Because that's always why I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to save lives. And I found this career, and I'm able to help thousands of people. And hopefully this video serves you and I can help you. My goal here is to teach you that, look, I'm not perfect. I am very confident. I believe in myself, but at the root of it all really is love. I've been through so much pain in my life, and I've seen so many horrible things happen, and I've seen other people undergo these things, and I can tell you, nobody's perfect. You see all these celebrities, or you see, really big people. Like I used to be so insecure, I couldn't even call Pizza Hut and order a pizza. I would shake, or I would look at someone and I would never talk to them. I wanted to make friends, but I want you to know that anybody can overcome these things. It takes practice, but you have to realize it's possible. It's possible to go live the life of your dreams. It's possible to give back to your family. It's possible to do things. And I want to be the guy who tells you that you can. So many people in my life told me I can. I remember I was in high school and I was practicing basketball and I would miss layups, right? The easiest basket. And they would call me Marcy. So that summer I went home and I was determined, and every morning from the second I woke up, I went to a basketball hoop that my mom had bought me in the front yard, and I played non-stop. I got so good at basketball I would never miss. Literally, my shot got so good I'd never miss. I come back to school, I became the best player on the team, and my coach, I asked him, I said, hey, because I was thinking maybe I'll go, play pro. And I'm like, hey, do you think I could play at a better school? Like if I go to another school, do you think I would get on the team? And he said, I don't believe you'll make it to the JV team of a real school, of a school that's, higher competition. Well, I ended up leaving that same semester, that same season. I left to another school. I went to Taft High School and ended up starting on every sports team. I won a championship that year. And, just goes to show you, it doesn't matter what people say. It's better to be someone who believes in what you want, what you know you can do, because at the end of the day, everyone's going to tell you you can't do it. More people will tell you it's not possible than it is. And if your mission is to give back to your family, if your mission is to give to your friends, if your mission is to give to others, I promise you, no matter what anybody says, you will find a way. But if you're doing things because you want to do it for yourself, then you have to be honest. Nobody does things for themselves. Now, a lot of psychologists and philosophers might tell you everything we do is selfish. And maybe so. But I can tell you that selfish behavior, selfish beliefs, selfish anything amounts to nothing. No one's going to want to work with you. Nobody's going to want to be your friend. No one's going to connect to you. You're going to attract people in your life who don't actually like you for you. They like you for what you have. And I think this leads me to the most important part of my mindset. One of the most notable characteristics of my mindset is my confidence. And people look at my confidence and they say, wow, Marcel, you are really, really, really confident. You believe in yourself. You have no fear of failure. And that wasn't always true. I would only focus on why it wouldn't work, which is why I was never getting results. If you want your life to change, you have to see what you want, not what you don't want. And what I want is to be able to give back to as many people as I can, to be able to give as many people as I can freedom, to give them love, to give them happiness, just show them that it's possible. Because I believe that if something rang true in my entire life, it's this. Anyone who believes that they can, really can. It's that simple. Success comes down to one thing, belief. If you believe that you can, you will. And if you believe that you can't, you'll never do what you're supposed to do to get there. So my advice to you is this. One, when you see people, realize that, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. There are times I don't want to get up in the morning. There are times I can't keep my diet. Today, I didn't keep my diet cake today. I shouldn't be eating cake. I got to be on a strict diet. There are times where I've gone broke. Literally, a few months ago, I just went broke. And I had to, come back. And it happened to me 6 times last year. I'd make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then I recklessly spend it, right? And I'm just giving, and then I go broke again. And as you mature, you'll start to change your mindset around everything. I'm always growing, right? I'm teaching and I'm growing. And as I teach and as I make mistakes, I learn. And I'm always making mistakes. I'm always learning. People think everything's perfect. It's not perfect. Nothing I do is perfect. It gets better over time, right? A lot of people are like, oh, wow, you must have been born with this, right? When I was younger, they're like, oh, you're too young. Now I'm 22 and I'm better at what I do. People are like, oh, you must be born with this skill. I wasn't born with this. I wasn't born with anything. I don't have a skill. I just practice. And like anything, if you go to the gym, if you practice, if you work on yourself, if you focus on your dreams and your vision, you can have it. And regardless of what anybody says in life, I can promise you one thing. If you have a dream, and if this is the only thing you get out of this entire video, if you have a dream, I want you to go for it. I want you to believe in yourself, stop at nothing. You will fail. You will get rejected. You might even lose people that love you dearly. You might outgrow them. But I want you to understand, success comes from belief. Never give up. Go for what you want. And I promise you, all your dreams will become reality. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.